So, Tom, what's next? Switzerland? The Bahamas?
I don't know. I thought I might just look for a nice place back home.
Oh, good idea. Now, a really good investment area.
I don't want a good investment area, Angela. I want a home.
You know, you could always come and live with me. I know we didn't see one another for years.
That was my fault.
No. It takes two to tango.
Right. Well, that's me done.
Here you go, Mr. Jenkins.
It was lovely to meet you all. Thanks for inviting me to your party, Tom. I really enjoyed it.
Hey, no bother.
Where are you off to now?
Oh, further up north.
Here you are. You can take it out of that.
Thank you.
Well, I'd better be off. Business to do.
Excuse me.
What? It's paper. Someone switched me money for paper.
Sounds like the work of a convicted thief. Eh, Edgar?
£100,000.
Now, look, if you're suggesting...
No one's suggesting anything. I'll need you all to stay in the hotel until we get to the bottom of this.
This has nothing to do with me, I swear it. I never even knew any of these people before I came here.
Yes, but I still need to talk to you.
I don't understand.
What's this about you being a thief?
Stand by, team.
Not a...
We have a case.
It was a long...
Thank you. Welcome to the Academy of Criminal Investigation. If you want to join our ranks, then you need to solve the serious crime which has taken place in the hotel above. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Paul, I'm 13, and I'm a born-again Sherlock.
Hi, I'm Adam, and I think I'll be a good investigator because I'm really nosy and I like to know everything that's going on.
Hi, I'm Declan, and I'm 12. I think I'd be a good detective because my favourite show's Crime Watch.
I'm glad you're here. I hope you can solve it. I'll let you know what I know already. Tom Jenkins has been homeless for the past 10 years, and he's recently won £100,000 on the Luckylot. He's staying in bedroom number 3 on the first floor. He's here on a luxury break with his younger brother, Jeff Jenkins, and also Angela Haddon, who's a journalist, and she's writing a rags to riches story on his success. Tom Jenkins has struck up a friendship with Edgar Mitten over their mutual love of fishing. Edgar Mitten is a fishing tackle salesman and goes around the country selling just that. Angela Haddon has already accused Edgar Mitten of being a convicted criminal. Now, never having a bank account, Tom takes his Luckylot winnings with him in a holdall wherever he goes, and last night all 4 suspects were in the first floor bar from about 8:30 for a farewell party. Tom's holdall was in the bar all evening until Tom went to bed at 11 o'clock, and this morning the bag was found filled with fake money. That's what I know about the suspects. Let's hear it from themselves.
I'm kicking myself that I didn't recognise Edgar Mitten sooner. It was only when Tom said to me the money had gone that it came to me. I covered the Mitten trial 8 years ago. He was convicted of fraud. I'm sure that he must have stolen that money. It must have happened at the party last night. Tom did leave his bag lying unattended by the coat stands. I didn't notice until about 10:15. I'd headed up to bed earlier, but I couldn't find my key, so I went back to the bar and I asked the manager if he would make me a new one. That's when I spotted Tom's holdall just sitting there by the coats. So I took the bag over to Tom's table and I said to him, "Do you want to put it in the hotel safe?" But he said he was among friends. What was there to worry about?
I'm ashamed to admit it, but before Tom had his big win, I hadn't spoken to him in nearly 10 years. Couldn't believe it when he won all that money. This whole visit's actually been really emotional. That's why I went out for some air during the drinks party last night. It must have been about 10 o'clock and I wandered around for about 15 minutes. When I got back to the bar, Tom and I talked on our own for a bit. Angela had just gone to bed and Tom said Edgar had gone out for a walk as well. Edgar got back shortly after that with Simon, and the 3 of us stayed up till about 11 o'clock and then we all turned in for the night.
I'm telling you, I had nothing to do with this theft. One spell in jail is more than enough for me. Last night, I was in the bar with the others for Tom's wee party, till from about 8:30. Later on, Tom's brother Jeff said he was going out for a breath of fresh air. Well, I thought it was a good idea, so a few minutes later I went out after him. We must have gone in different directions, because I never found him. I walked about for a bit, but it was cold without my coat, so I headed back in. That'd probably be about 10:20. Well, Angela had gone to bed, so Tom and Jeff and I just sat chatting until about 11 o'clock.
I knew the money was in my holdo before I came down for the party last night because I counted it. When I got to the bar, I hung my jacket up on the coat stand, then I put my bag down beside it. It was within sight of where I was sitting, and to be honest, I just assumed it'd be okay because I'd reserved the entire bar for our own private use. I'm pretty sure that the bag was by the coat stand until Angela told me off for leaving it there and made me put it by my chair. But I wasn't paying attention to it the entire time. I only left the bar once all night to go to the toilet, and the bag was by my chair at that stage. I didn't think to take it with me because Jeff was there. But maybe it wasn't taken from the bar.
So, team, the suspects have given their version of events. Having seen what you've just seen, who do you think has the strongest motive?
I think it could have been Angela because she might have switched the bags when he went to take it back over. I'm not too sure about Edgar because his story seems to be covered, but I don't really know because Angela has an alibi for the barman to go get another key.
When Jeff's brother said he went to the toilet, and he came back and the bag was missing, and he left it with Jeff, so Jeff's a good suspicion as well.
The team are suspicious of convicted criminal Edgar Mitten and of journalist Angela Haddon because she handled Tom's holdall at the party. But they haven't noticed that Jeff Jenkins was left alone with the money when Tom went to the toilet.
Keep those thoughts, but I need to introduce you to the suspect timeline. Use this to plot where the suspects were and when during the crime. And this is the incident board. Write down anything you think may be interesting to help you solve it. Okay, if you could do that now.
He was already convicted for fraud before, so it could have been him.
See, 10:15, is that when she left the bar?
Yeah, that's when she left the bar to go to her bed.
What she could have done was when she was going up, she could have went. She realised that was an excuse to go back down, so she could get a witness.
Yeah.
I think she's getting mixed up because one of them's lying because Edgar said that he went back for drinks with Angela and sat up to about 12, then she went up to her bed.
This team seem really strong, and although it's early days, I think the culprit will probably regret committing the crime on their watch.
He didn't go for a walk. Ray just walked out with me and I didn't go to walk.
I have the CCTV footage.
Thank you very much.
He just left the bag.
Team, gather round. Our first piece of hard evidence has come through. This is our CCTV footage, which is taken from the hotel above. Now, use this to see if the suspects were telling the truth or not about where they said they were during their statements. You have to be quick, though, because we can only detain the suspects for a short while, so write it down and come to a conclusion quickly. I've got to go back up to the hotel to scour it for some more forensic evidence.
Right, on the first floor, 10 p.m. Is that Jeff? Jeff's coming down the stairs. He's looking about for people. Right, 10:05 p.m. It's Edgar coming down the stairs. He doesn't look very suspicious. At 10:10, it's Angela. She's gone up the stairs. Right, at 10:13, she's coming back down. That prove a point about she forgot her key. Right, okay. At 10:15, she's coming down with Simon. She's looking about quite a lot. At 10:17, Angela's coming up with Jeff. Right, at 10, and then 10:17, she's gone back up. Right, at 10:20, that's Tom. At 10:22, there's Simon, and he's walking up with Edgar. Looks like he's complaining about something. Right, this is reception at 2:01 a.m. That's Edgar. Right, Edgar must have been lying about something because he said he went up to his bed. He never said anything about coming back down. 2:34, he's came back. Doesn't look very good.
Would you set these up in the forensics lab, please? Thank you. Team, come around. Tell me what you found.
We found quite a lot of stuff about times. Edgar, he went down the stairs and he was in the reception and we saw him from this camera here coming down.
And then half an hour later,
He came back up
in,
and
with his dressing
he's
gown
like that, trying
like
to
he was
hide
trying to
something.
hide some, but you couldn't see.
When was this?
It
Two-
was
it was
2:01. He came down, went out, and his dressing gown like he just woke up.
10:34.
At
2:34, he went back up.
He went back up.
We noticed that Angela was doing a lot of moving about, like going up and down and all that. And when a lot of the stuff that she'd said was that she'd done it, like went and got her key, and then went back to her bed, and that was about it.
So Edgar went outside at 2 a.m. and may have been hiding something under his coat on his return. The team think that Angela could have switched the money during the party, but it was Jeff who was left alone with Tom's winnings.
Follow me, I've got some interesting evidence upstairs. When a criminal commits a crime, they unknowingly leave behind tiny bits of evidence. This is called trace evidence, such as fingerprints, hair, clothing fibres, footprints, and this is the lab where we find it. This is Tom's holdall. It's still unzipped from the discovery and reception. You need to dust it down for prints. Also, if you look inside, you'll find the bundles of fake notes. Search them for trace evidence. Now, we can't assume that the money was stolen from the bar, so I searched Tom Jenkins' bedroom, which is bedroom 3 on the first floor, and the window was open. Check the location of the window on the elevation map there. Get to it.
I'll have a look right into the bottom of the bag.
I'll just make sure there's nothing, no bits of material. No, that's part of the bag.
There is something here. There's a fingerprint.
Yeah.
There is one definitely there.
Found anything that's distinctive on it?
Find it. Some of it looks as though it's been all kind of roughed about, but apart from that, there's nothing else.
Let's see the
Check out the
photos.
photos, Declan.
You can't see anything around about here.
So, how would he or she get up here? Because the only entrances are from the pipe to here, but you wouldn't be able to do that.
Why don't you just check for fingerprints on the comparator?
Okay, let's go. Why don't we try Edgar's first?
It's definitely not that one because look, it's got a line. Right, let's see. Jeff. We'll try Jeff.
Try Jeff's in.
That is very, very similar. Look. Down here, look, it's just broke into two.
That's Jeff's finger.
That's Jeff's, definitely.
That's definitely Jeff's one.
I think I've found a thread, but it might just be part of the bag.
There's something.
The settings.
Look it out.
I've got it. I'll get it with the tweezers.
A bit of plastic.
It's like the thing off a label.
Tell me what the forensics has turned up.
Right. See, Jeff, his fingerprints appeared on the bag. Right? But we couldn't find anything on the money. But there was a picture of an open window. We maybe think instead of an entrance, that may have been used as an exit.
We found a small piece of plastic in the bag.
Like off a label.
Mm-hmm.
You pull it off, but that size, so...
What do you think that is?
I
Could
don't
be-
know,
it could-
clothes label, maybe?
Could be a clothes label.
Like, if Tom's
Like
given her a lot of money,
Fishing
he
tackle,
It
maybe?
could be maybe with the money someone bought new clothes and they took the label off.
Now's the time to choose your first suspect. Who would you like to interrogate first?
Edgar.
Edgar. Why?
Curious of what he was doing at that late at night and out in the cold. So I want to interrogate him.
So Edgar it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's bring him down.
You can take a seat, please.
Take a seat, Edgar.
Right, what's this place?
Listen, I ask the questions here. You just listen and answer.
Oh, fine, carry on then.
Right. So how did you get to know Tom?
Oh, I just met him yesterday, you know. We started talking about fishing and that. He's a nice guy.
It's like, did you know Tom had the money when you first met him?
No, he told me about it at the party though, last night. It's an amazing story. I mean, you know, a man that just, he was in the streets and everything. I mean, he had nothing and then suddenly he wins all this money. I just thought it was fantastic.
So you've been convicted for fraud before? Doesn't look good. What happened?
Well, it's actually something that I don't like to. I'm running an honest business now. That was a long time in the past, you know, and I'm trying to put that behind me. But I mean, yeah, I admit it. Well, you know, I did 5 years, and I think I've paid for it now.
Excuse me, can you please answer the question? What did you do to be convicted for fraud?
Oh, well, I defrauded a pension fund of a couple of £100,000, you know.
You said in your statement that you were having drinks with Angela to about 12.
No. I went out at the back of 10 for a walk, and when I come back in, Angela was away. She'd gone to her bed, I think. I was just Jeff and Tom there, and we sat and chatted till about 11 o'clock. No later than 11, and then we all went to bed.
Do you have financial troubles?
No, really, business is okay, you know.
What were you doing between 2:01 and
At
2:34?
2 o'clock, I couldn't sleep. I'm a terrible sleeper. I was really bad. I mean, after prison and all that, and I don't sleep very well. So I thought if I go out for a walk and get some fresh air, I might fall asleep. So I just walked about for about, I don't know, about 3/4 of an hour or something.
So you went out and you were complaining of being cold before, so you went out to get your jacket. But only when you went out you were in your dressing gown.
No, I was in my coat, my raincoat. I put my raincoat over my pyjamas.
You're a specialist on fishing tackle.
Well, I sell bits of tackle and that, yeah.
Right, can you name 3 types of fishing flies then for me, please?
Aye. Red hackle, mayfly, green spinner.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, look, I'm supposed to be in Inverness in an hour, you know?
I'm afraid you're going to have to miss your appointment.
Oh, come on.
So, Luckylot winner Tom Jenkins had £100,000 in a holdall which has been switched for worthless bundles of blank paper. His brother Jeff Jenkins was briefly left alone with the holdall during a party in the bar last night. Angela Haddon was concerned about the bag being left out of Tom's vision and gave it back to him during the party. Convicted criminal Edgar Mitten was spotted going outside at 2 a.m. on CCTV, but claims that he was just having trouble sleeping. In the forensics lab, the team examined Tom's holdall, finding Jeff's fingerprint and a small plastic tag inside the bag.
So I still believe this team is really strong, but they have an awful lot of evidence to weigh up if they're going to crack this case.
Still suspects.
He's in the clear.
5 years.
Is that new evidence, Adam?
Yeah, it's a report on Edgar and Tom. It says Edgar was convicted for 6 years for fraud. He served 5 years in prison and was let out for good behaviour. Then it says here that Tom has 2 charges and 1 charge of shoplifting. It says that he has 1 for begging as well.
You'd think that because if he's shoplifting, he's starving. So you could sort of take that into account.
Who's next to be interrogated?
Jeff.
Why?
Because we found his fingerprints on the suitcase.
And you want to know why they're there?
Yes.
Are you all agreed?
Yep.
Let's bring him down.
Sit down, please.
Hello? See, when you went for a walk, where did you go?
I just went out the front, just out the front door of the hotel and on towards the edge of the drive, but not much further.
What's your relationship like with your brother?
I hadn't seen him in about 10 years.
Why not?
He was living on the streets and...
Why did you not help though?
Well, I tried. You know, I tried for a long time, but then we just lost touch and I didn't see him for a long time, but I'm not proud about it.
Why all of a sudden is it when you started talking to him as soon as he got the money?
He's my brother.
Yeah,
I wanted to, you know, he extended a hand of
wait
friendship
Wait a
again.
minute. See, why is it you never went to see him before and now you're offering him to stay with
I
you
didn't know
now?
where he was. He didn't have, like, a fixed address. You know, Tom was never any good with money. He might have just spent the money already. I know he's already got a car. I'm probably wrong. I don't want to be, you know, telling tales about my own brother, but he might have spent the money, and it did occur to me, he could have just pretended that someone stole it.
See, the holder that he had the money in, did you ever go into it?
It's a lot of money, so I did want to have a look. I opened it to have a look, but I never actually touched the money itself.
What do you do for a living?
I work in recruitment.
Is it well paid?
It's enough.
Thank you, that's all I've got time for.
Is this some kind of joke? I've got absolutely nothing to do with this.
If that's the case, then you won't be there long. Team, gather round. You might want to take another look at those. That's the bag of fake money. The holdall's still in forensics, being checked. Now, I was chatting to the gardener, and he's told me that in an unsecured outbuilding just outside the hotel, there's a ladder which is 2.5 metres long. You look at that, and I'm going to have a think about it out here.
That's 3.6 metres. Do you know what he could have done? Took a ladder to the drain pipe, climbed the drain pipe and went in the bathroom window. It's 3.6 metres to the bottom of the window. But if you got the ladder to the pipe, climbed in the pipe, opened, and you were in the window and you could just get in.
I reckon when Edgar went out, he didn't go after Jeff, he just went to the outbuildings.
But he didn't say that.
But there's a chance, right? Seeing as there's ladders in the outbuilding, he could have went and got the ladders.
The team are right to follow up this lead. Edgar certainly had time to collect the ladder and climb up to Tom's open window, but could he have sneaked in and switched Tom's money for the fake bundles without waking him?
Oh, I think there's some coming to the printer.
Paul, what's that?
It's a forensic report. It says the condition of the inside of the bag is not consistent with that of the outside. The outside of the bag was very dirty and scuffed, but the only traces found inside the bag were of fingerprint powder. Sand particles were recovered from the outer surface, suggesting that the sandpaper may have been used to damage the outside surface of the bag. It says in conclusion, this bag may not be an old bag worn with use and age.
So what does that mean to you?
Maybe somebody are trying to rough it off just to make it harder to identify what bag's been switched with it. That sounds like quite a new
There's a switch bag.
Maybe, that's what I think. Someone switched it while it's been at the party. I'm thinking maybe Angela, because she's been up and downstairs all so many times.
You have one more person left to interrogate. Choose wisely.
Angela.
Angela.
Why Angela?
Because she was moving about all the time, and it seems, and that would have gave her a chance to have grabbed the bag and switched it or anything when she was like going into the bar to get her key cut.
Well, you can ask her all about it. Let's bring her down.
You can take a seat, please.
Gosh, where's this place?
Don't worry, you're just here as part of an inquiry.
Okay.
Okay. Right. During the party, you kept going up and down the stairs. Why were you doing that?
Well, I left the party about 10:10 and I got up to the mezzanine corridor and then realised that I completely lost my keycard.
How did you lose the keycard?
Oh, it was locked in my room. So I went back to the bar and I asked the manager if he could make me a new one. And that's when I spotted Tom's Holdall just lying there by the coats. So I took it over to him, and then Simon and I went back downstairs to the reception. Then I met Jeff, who was coming in from outside, and Jeff and I came back upstairs. Then I noticed that my coat was still in the bar, so I collected the coat, and then I went back upstairs to my bedroom.
Declan, play the bluff.
No.
No.
So your fingerprints were found on the money and on the bag.
Well, they would be on the bag, but there's no way they'd be on the money, because when I handed over the bag, it was completely zipped up.
Okay. Why were you so quick to blame Edgar?
Well, I don't really think the man has a conscience. I mean, he defrauded a pension fund, you know? That's old people. And
yes, but he did the time. He wouldn't want to go back on
well,
it.
he did the time, that's fair enough, but, you know, why would he have a conscience about a guy who's been on the streets for ages?
Okay, thank you very much.
How long is this going to take? I've got to phone my editor.
I hope for your sake it doesn't take very long. Now, team, this is the time where you need to draw together your loose ends and come to one big, important conclusion. Remember, in any investigation, facts are far more important than hunches. Trust nobody. Get talking.
I'm gonna go have a look at the timeline. See.
Right.
Party starts.
His fingerprints were on it.
Alone, but
He has a he has a reason for that, because he wanted to take a look at the money.
She seemed to have an answer for everything. She might have kind of planned it out a bit. He was out, right, and he said it was just because he had trouble sleeping.
Yeah, but then he says he was cold, and then he went out just with on a raincoat over his jacket.
I look like a dressing gown. Remember back in, fair enough doing that, but he came back in like that, and he's back.
I think what he was wearing wasn't a rain jacket.
It's time to bring down the final suspect.
I don't need to be locked up. Have you found my money yet?
I hope to find it shortly. Team, you've seen all the evidence. You've interrogated 3 of our 4 suspects. I want to know, who is your prime suspect?
Edgar.
Edgar. Why?
Well, because all the evidence is against him.
And we got the information about the ladder outside. He goes outside, comes back half an hour later, and he seems to be hiding something.
Interesting theory. Let's see if you're right.
It was, in fact, Angela Haddon. I think Angela recognised Edgar Mitten as soon as she saw him. She thought that if she took Tom's money, Edgar would get the blame. The problem was, Tom kept his holdall with him at all times. So, she roughed up a duplicate holdall to make it look old and battered just like Tom's. Then she cut up lots of paper, put them into bundles, and placed them into the holdall. Last night she excused herself from the party saying she was tired. She collected the fake bag from her room and then came downstairs with it hidden under her coat. She dropped her coat over Tom's real holdall. She then took the dummy bag over to Tom. As she needed an excuse for having come back into the bar, she asked me to make her a duplicate key for her room. Once she had the new key, she collected her coat, picking up Tom's holdall at the same time, and walked out.
You're all free to go.
I can't believe you've done this to me, Angela.
Thank you for your cooperation. You stay right there.
I trusted you.
Unfortunately, it is disappointment for our team today. You were on the right track, but you lost your way at the last minute. Who did you suspect?